Hello fans of the project. Today is July 10th, 2013. It has been just about 3 years since I started building this thing. But I thought I have to go away for a few days to a wedding in Oregon, so I thought what I would do is give a last little video status before I head off and the project languishes until next Monday actually, or maybe Sunday night. As you have seen in some of the other videos, there's been a whole lot of wiring going on. So this morning what I did was I spent some time dressing things that I have put together, and there's been a few things added right here. This green wire, they're self-marked, a green black and a green blue. These guys go up here. It's a little hard to see because of the mess of wires that are in there, but they wind up at that switch right there. That's the fuel pump switch. And there's another couple of wires here. As you can see, this is the voltmeter. I figured out where to hook that in, so that's hooked in too. We already know the brake lights work, we already know the turn signals work, but this is pretty cool. I do this, boom, 12 volts. And then I do this, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I don't know if you could hear that, but that's the fuel pump pulsing. It's a little Suzuki VS 1400 diaphragm. I should probably turn the thing off, right? Yeah, let's shut that off for now. A diaphragmatic fuel pump right down there, mounted to a frame tube and wired in. You can see it right there. It's got the black ground wire. There's my self-marked green-blue that goes to the power on the other side. I don't know if you can see in there too well. I've got one of those stick-on right there, this wire right here that we're looking at with the blade connector. That's the power wire. Right there is one of those adhesive-backed tie wrap anchors that'll mount that wire once they have the split conduit on it. And what I've been doing today is basically tying wire bundles together so that we can fit them into the split conduit and mount them perfectly. As you can see, some of the wires were a little long, so I folded up a service loop. It goes down there, goes into the drive shaft tunnel. It's going to fit into the three. There are three of those tie wrap anchors riveted on. I'm going to come forward to up here, and here is what I found is that after extensive study of the wiring diagram, the hot wire, which is hot wire from the battery right here, goes through the 20 amp fuse to the hot wire on the harness side, up to the ignition switch right here. See that red wire right there? You turn the switch on, the power comes out, the brown wire. And if you can see it right there, that brown wire right there. And then what it does is it comes to a junction that's all taped up here. It comes to a crimped junction here where you have three wires coming out of it, another brown wire, and a red yellow which powers the headlights, a red white which powers the ignition, and this brown wire which powers pretty much everything else. So what I did was I stripped it and I tapped in another brown wire that I marked brown black, and then I made up my own. Here's a green black that takes power from that goes up to the power side of the switch. Here's the green blue that comes from the load side of the switch. And right here this is a ground. One of these right here is the ground side from that switch. The other one of these is the ground side from the voltmeter. So things are happening. I'm going to go away, and now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop with the wiring. I'm going to, when I get back from Oregon, the push is going to be to overhaul the carburetors, put the carburetors on, plumb the fuel line from the tank, which mounts here, and then make this thing run. Make this thing run one time before I go away to Plum Island for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of August. I think that's an achievable goal, and I think that's realistic. Another thing I'm torn about is, well, when I did the brake switch, as you can see right here, I've got this is an MGB brake light switch. I had this this hydraulic brake light switch that I got from Speedway Motors, but when I tested it out, the pedal pressure seemed excessive, so I kind of ditched that idea. But it leaves me with this T connection right there. And this T connection would make a convenient point to run a brake line back to this rear brake and eliminate the hand brake that I'd designed in and planned on that mounts on this bracket on the side right here. And I'm a little torn because I think that I know it would be easier to not have to manually use the rear brake and press on a foot pedal and push a hand lever to brake this thing effectively. The concern that I have is this is a 3/4 inch master cylinder, which is right for these MGB calipers, but would be a little big for this Suzuki LC 1500 caliper that I have right there, or C90 or whatever it was that I got it from. But I may try it out, and if it doesn't work out, then I can go back to the handbrake idea, because it sure would make life easy for me, and it would get this thing on the road a whole lot quicker. So I think that may be a path that I take. And then there's one last thing I got to figure out, and that is this hot lead right here, the mystery lead. I don't know where the hell this goes. I don't know what it connects to. This end of the harness right here that you see, these wires that I've separated out to go in different directions all went up into the headlight shell. And this connected to something. And it's a hot lead that it's on the harness side, it's on the harness side of the 20 amp fuse. I don't know where it goes. I just don't know. And the wiring diagram, my wiring diagram has been no help really. So I got some questions to ask online, I think, and some more studying to do to figure out where that goes. If it goes anywhere, I don't know. Because all the other connections are connected. Here's my soldered extensions from my rectifier down to this nice solidly mounted connector. Here's my little extensions. Up! My ride's here. I guess I got to go to Oregon now. Anyway, I will post this, and I'll see you next week.